The laziest way to get rich is also the most effective one, which is the opposite of what your feed keeps telling you. Because grind culture is broke signal marketing designed to sell effort as identity, not as outcome. Here's what the actually wealthy do that requires almost no effort at all. For the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through the 6 lazy moves that quietly produce real wealth. No hustle, no grind, no guru, no 12-hour days, just the specific automations and refusals that let compounding do almost all the work for you. This one is for the guy who is tired of being told the answer is to try harder. Start with the mechanic, because it's the whole reversal. Grind culture sells you a specific lie, that the amount of effort you put in decides the outcome. That if you're not compounding, it's because you're not trying hard enough. That the fix is more hours, more focus, more hustle, more discipline. Almost none of that is true at the horizon that matters. Because wealth over decades is not built by effort per week. It is built by decisions made once and then left alone. Willpower is the wrong tool. Automation is the right tool. The guys who figure this out early stop grinding by their late 20s. They start compounding for the next 30 years while the grinders burn out. 6 moves, every one of them lazy on purpose. Every one of them more effective than what your feed is telling you to do. Move 1. Automate every recurring money decision so you never have to make one again. The day the money lands in your account, some percentage of it moves automatically into savings, investments, and bills. You don't touch it. You don't decide anything. It happens whether you have willpower that week or not. The reason this works is that willpower is a limited resource. The wealthy figured out early that spending it on money decisions every month is a waste. Set up the pipes once. Let the pipes do the work. Every month for the next 30 years. The guys grinding manually every month are running on effort. The guys who automated once are running on infrastructure. The infrastructure wins, fix, automatic savings off the top, automatic bill pay, automatic investment contributions. Set it all up this week. Never touch any of it again. Move 2, pick one boring asset, and stop touching it for 30 years. Not 5 assets, not a rotating portfolio, not the next hot thing. One boring, broad, well-documented long-term asset. Then leave it alone. The math on this is aggressive and boring. Almost every professionally managed fund loses to the boring index over 20 years. Almost every trader loses to the guy who bought once and did nothing. Almost every crypto genius is either a survivor of one lucky cycle or actively marketing you their newest strategy. The lazy move is not to have an opinion. Pick the boring asset that has produced reliable long-run returns for a century. Buy it every month. Never sell it. Do not check the balance daily. Fix. Open the account. Set the automatic contribution. Never open the app again unless you're changing the amount. That is the whole strategy. Move 3. Cut every subscription, tab, and payment you can't defend in a sentence. The lazy version of getting richer is not making more. It's spending less on the specific things that add nothing to your life, which turns out to be most of what you're currently paying for. Every recurring payment in your life should pass one test. Can you defend it in a sentence a smart friend would nod at? If yes, keep it. If no, cancel it today. Most guys have 5 to 10 recurring payments they can't defend. Streaming they don't watch. Software they don't use. Memberships they don't attend. Buy now, pay later balances from 6 months ago. Every one of those is a leak. Cutting them requires no discipline, just one Sunday afternoon. Fix. Print your last 3 months of bank statements. Highlight every recurring charge. Cancel the ones that fail the one-sentence test. Do it this weekend. halfway through, 3 moves down. Notice what they have in common. Everyone is a removal, not an addition. You are subtracting decisions from your life. You are subtracting effort. You are subtracting friction. That is the whole mechanic of laziness as strategy. The wealthy get quieter and simpler as they compound, not busier and more complicated. Move 4. Stay in the same job longer than feels normal. This one is counter-cultural, and it is the truth. The guys who job hop every 18 months look busy. The guys who stay in one place for 5 to 10 years quietly build reputations, relationships, and skill depth that a hopper never touches. Job hopping raises your salary in your 20s. Depth of reputation raises your ceiling in your 30s. The second one compounds harder over a career by a large margin. The lazy move is not to be looking. It's to be so specifically good at the job you have that the right next opportunity finds you on its own schedule, which usually means staying somewhere longer than your peers do. Fix. Unless the job is actively damaging you or has stopped paying market rate, stop looking. Get good at what you have. Let the next opportunity come find you. Move 5. Ignore 95% of financial news. The financial news industry does not exist to help you make better decisions. It exists to grab your attention and sell you something. The two goals are not aligned. The specific test is this. Does today's financial headline change what a young guy with a 30-year horizon should do with his money? Almost always the answer is no, which means almost all of the coverage is noise that costs you nothing to skip. The lazy move is to not consume it, not to consume it thoughtfully, not to consume it critically, not to consume it at all. Every hour you don't spend absorbing market drama is an hour you get back, and every decision you don't make in reaction to a headline is a mistake you don't make. Fix. Unfollow the finance accounts in your feed. Cancel the newsletters. Read one long, boring source once a month if you must. Ignore the rest. The hours you get back are hours you can spend on Move 6, which is where most of the actual work of getting rich quietly happens. Move 6. Sleep, walk, read, and let the compounding do the work. The wealthy protect the specific inputs that make the first 5 moves possible. Sleep, so decision-making is sharp. Walking, so thinking is clear. Reading, so learning compounds. Time without a screen, so the mind can actually process what it takes in. None of these look like wealth building on any given Tuesday. All of them are wealth building on the horizon of a decade. The guy who sleeps well, thinks clearly and keeps learning is the guy whose one boring index fund grows without interference, whose one job compounds into a real career, and whose one set of automated systems runs cleanly for 30 years. The interesting-looking productivity content will not tell you this, because sleep, walks, reading and boredom don't clip well, but they run the whole thing underneath. Fix. Sleep 7+. Walk daily. Read 30 pages of something serious. Put the phone in another room for the second half of every day. Let the rest do itself. That is genuinely the whole protocol. So here's the callback. The laziest way to get rich is also the most effective one. Automate the recurring decisions. Pick one boring asset and don't touch it. Cut what you can't defend. Stay in one place longer. Ignore the news. Protect the inputs. 6 moves. Each one requires almost no willpower. Together they produce a life that quietly compounds, while the grind culture guys around you burn themselves out chasing the wrong things. You do not have to work harder to get wealthy. You have to work less on the wrong things and more consistently on the right, boring, automated ones. That is almost the entire game. The wealthiest guys you'll ever meet look lazy from the outside. That's the tell. The efficiency is what makes them look that way. They removed everything that didn't matter until only the boring, automated, high-leverage stuff was left. And then they let that run for 30 years without touching it. That is the whole game. Boring, on purpose, at scale. If this hit, subscribe. I make one of these a week. Practical stuff about how money actually works. No hype, no shortcuts.